Chaos in Boston last night. Look at this. More than a dozen people walked away in handcuffs. Multiple police officers injured during this chaotic brawl around Boston Common.
Mob of people here like screaming, banging on the cop cars.
Chaos erupts and people scatter in the streets of Boston.
And so all of the buzz around, whether these kinds of cities that are more welcoming for immigrants are more dangerous, it's about a false narrative that immigrants are somehow more likely to commit crimes or cause harm, and that is just simply not true.
A few moments later.
The outside individuals who came into our city to cause disorder and brought dangerous illegal behavior here will be prosecuted.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you these stories every day. Now, y'all, the woman you're seeing on your screen going back and forth with Byron Donalds, this lady right here, this is Michelle Wu. Or should I say, your girl, Michelle Wu. She is the mayor of Boston. She says that Boston is the safest big city in the whole United States, y'all. And though many people would disagree with her, you can't deny that Boston is relatively safe for a big city. That is until recent days and weeks where murders have spiked, where people have been taking over the streets, assaulting cops, where the state of Massachusetts has been releasing people who are on trial or who should be going on trial for crimes. They've been releasing them by the hundreds because they don't want to pay their prosecutors. And so just basically overall, everything that Michelle Wu thinks Boston is, it's really at danger of not being anymore. So today, y'all, we're going to take a look at two violent street takeovers in just the past week or so, where people have been arrested, cops have been assaulted, cop cars have been set on fire. It's just melee. It's just mayhem. We're going to take a look at how your girl says that immigrants make Boston a safer place. But when it comes to these street takeovers, she's blaming people who are not from Boston. So are you saying people who are coming in from outside are making Boston unsafe, Michelle Wu? Also, the governor of Massachusetts seems to agree with that. And also, y'all, we're going to take another look at how the state is releasing people who should be going on trial for crimes, but because they don't have enough public defenders and they don't want to pay their public defenders, they're releasing people by the hundreds. So, y'all, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. But before we do, y'all, make sure you take care of your money. I'm not going to make this a long one, y'all. Go to Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com, or call 844-651-8334, 844-651-8334. If you have $50,000 to $100,000 or more in your retirement, protected from inflation, protected from monetary debasement, you're about to retire. Make sure your money's still there and it's still worth something by investing at least some of it in gold. Talk to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals. Go click the link now, get the free information, and protect your precious retirement.
Chaos in Boston last night. Look at this. More than a dozen people walked away in handcuffs. Multiple police officers injured during this chaotic brawl around Boston Common. Some people even left with broken bones. This clash broke out during the Flood Downtown for Palestine rally. And this morning, some of those involved are facing a judge.
Lauren Melendez live outside Boston Municipal Court today. Lauren, really a wild scene there.
Oh, wild for sure, Jeff. So wild that two police officers had to go to the hospital with broken bones, trying to wrestle those protesters for control during that violent protest. This morning, I've got new names, new charges, and new statements for you ahead of the arraignments for those 13 individuals involved. At the height of the violence, protesters carried away by police, forced into arrests after officers say they resisted and attacked them. 13 men and women ranging from 19 to 28 years old accused of breaking away from what started as a peaceful protest on the Common during the Flood Downtown for Palestine rally. But police say around 6:45, the 8 men and 5 women whose names were released Wednesday morning forcibly removed or damaged their body cameras, radios, bicycles, and other gear, all while igniting flares full of red smoke, blocking traffic, escalating into an all-out brawl. Mayor Michelle Wu saying Boston will not tolerate violence, and we categorically condemn those who came into our community to attack our police officers, adding these attacks must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. All this after learning the protesters allegedly surrounded police vehicles, kicked their doors, and hit one officer in the face. The protesters claiming the U.S. is a, quote, war machine that supports famine and genocide, adding they want to fight the system, ultimately facing it in court. And some of those charges of the 13 people who are arraigned or will be arraigned this morning include assault and battery. We also have disorderly conduct, disturbing the peace, and more. We're live here at Boston Municipal Court this morning. I'm Lauren Melendez, NBC 10 Boston.
So that was only the most recent street takeover. Just a few days before that street takeover, there was another street takeover. And I want you, at the end of this report, and I want you to pay close attention, y'all. Pay close attention who your girl blames, who they're blaming for all of this violence, for the violence. They're going to blame people. These people aren't from Boston. These people aren't from Massachusetts. So I thought that the immigrants, the people from the outsiders, make your city safer.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken McLeod. Tonight, 2 people are in custody. And as WBZ's Paul Burton shows us, this wasn't the only incident locally involving a large crowd attacking officers.
Mob of people here, like screaming, banging on the cop cars.
Chaos erupts and people scatter in the streets of Boston as a police cruiser was destroyed by fireworks in what police described as a large-scale vehicle takeover early Sunday morning.
Definitely unsettling to wake up in the middle of the night and see a cop car on fire outside your window.
These BU students took this cell phone video. They live in the apartment above Mass Ave and Tremont Street.
I just saw the cop car on fire and then stuff was blowing up while they were putting it out.
Police say shortly after 2 a.m. they responded to reports of people gathered in cars to take part in illegal street racing and tricks.
As officers approached the scene, they were met by a group, a pretty large group, over 100 people, and some of the individuals in the group started to throw cones, poles, and other objects at the officers in the vehicle.
Police say the cruiser was repeatedly hit with fireworks as officers got out to chase down the suspects. Boston Fire Department was able to extinguish the burning police cruiser, but it was a total loss.
Everybody started flocking in on the other side, taking videos, pictures. I saw somebody get arrested over here.
We got about 50 to 100, if not more people.
In Randolph, a similar incident took place early Sunday morning. Police say around 1:30, cars blocked off an intersection on North Main Street, and a crowd of out-of-control people jumped on the hood of a cruiser and began throwing fireworks. Right now, it's unclear if this is the same group of vandals.
It's under investigations, but these things, they go from town to, it's not a Boston thing, it's a nationwide thing.
Police did arrest 2 individuals in the Boston incident, an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old, both from Rhode Island.
The outside individuals who came into our city to cause disorder and brought dangerous illegal behavior here will be prosecuted.
Police are asking anyone with cell phone video who may have witnessed this to please share that information with them. The 2 individuals will be arraigned in Roxbury District Court. The incident remains under investigation. In Boston, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.
And then, y'all, let's just remind you that in the state of Massachusetts right now, they're actively and ongoingly releasing hundreds of people who have been arrested for crimes. Not because those people won at trial, not because those people took a deal, but because the state of Massachusetts simply does not want to pay the public defenders what they're worth, or at least what the public defenders believe that they're worth. So because there's a shortage of public defenders, the courts are saying, well, these people have a constitutional right to representation. You're not providing that, so we're letting them go. So yeah, the safest big city in the universe. This is the safest big city in the universe, according to your girl. Let's take a look.
That is right, Maria. Just today, we learned 57 more criminal cases were dismissed in Suffolk County because there are no attorneys to defend those suspects. And now we know that number is expected to keep growing. This comes on the heels of what the governor's office told us last week, that many bar advocates had returned to work. Those are lawyers who take cases when the defendant can't afford one. She was responding to our reporting last week on a couple who said the man who attacked them in their Dorchester home was was released twice because he didn't have a lawyer. But a new court filing shows there's no sign of the crisis letting up. 49% of defense attorney shifts are still unfilled in Boston's municipal courts for this month. 78% are empty in Middlesex County in September, and right now 74% are empty for next month. Bar advocates stopped taking new cases at the end of May, demanding a pay raise. The governor and state lawmakers approved an increase last month, but not at the level they wanted. Under the court's rules, any defendant who is held for 7 days without counsel must be released. If they go 45 days without a lawyer, the case must be dismissed, at least temporarily. We did reach out to the governor's office tonight for a response, but have not yet heard back. Reporting live in the newsroom tonight, Brittany Johnson, 5 Investigate.
So yeah, y'all, the propaganda about the safest big city, now that Michelle Wu has effectively won the Boston mayoral race because she's running unopposed, we're going to see how safe things continue to be. She's already caught up in a scandal where she fired one of her employees who was accusing one of Michelle Wu's right-hand men of SA, if you know what that means. Use your imagination. So yeah, y'all, maybe it's not so great to have your mayors running unopposed because who's going to hold them accountable? Anyway, y'all, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you think about all of this craziness happening in Boston. Just months after Michelle Wu started touting the city as the safest big city in America, murder rate spiked, violent crime rate spiked, street takeovers are taking over. They're releasing criminals onto the street because they don't want to pay them. And she's running unopposed. So who's even going to hold her accountable? Let me know what you think down in the comments. But before you do, y'all, please stop, hit the share button, share this video out over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all of your favorite social mediums. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. To my people in retirement, if you want to protect it from the upsies, downsies, roundsies, and the roundsies, go down, click the first link in the description, Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com. Get the information. And also you can reach out to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals at 844-651-8334. Thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.
I wanted to take a few moments today to address something that is really bothering me right now. I'm a former prosecutor, I'm a former attorney general, I'm also the governor. And what I've seen, particularly over the last week or few weeks, is something I want to address right now. And that is this trend of car meetups, of drag racing in communities. We've been hearing about this for a little bit now. I've convened roundtables with law enforcement in various regions of the state. And we talked about a number of things, but one of the things that we talked about is that increasingly there are efforts online to send word out and then ask people to meet up at a particular location, oftentimes at night, and then drag race carts. And we saw incidents in Fall River, in Boston over the weekend, in Brockton. And I just want to be really clear on a couple of things. Do not engage in that behavior. Anyone who engages in that conduct will be found and will be held accountable to the furthest extent of the law. Today, I'm taking action. I've directed the colonel of my state police, Colonel Noble, to make sure that MSP resources are used to work with local police departments to identify, apprehend, and punish offenders. There's a lot of work that needs to be done online, and we have monitoring through the Fusion Center and other resources, but I just want to be really clear that we have zero tolerance for this in the state. Some of the perpetrators are from Massachusetts. Other perpetrators are coming into Massachusetts. But whether you're in Massachusetts or you think about coming to Massachusetts, you are not welcome to engage in that conduct at any time, in any place, anywhere in this state. The other thing is I want a message to the public. If you become aware of things, if you see something online, see something, say something, report it to local police, call 911. I just think about Fall River over the weekend and why I'm so upset about this and want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to work state and local to end this trend, Zero tolerance for this in the Commonwealth. Not going to happen here. And if you do it, you're going to be punished. I'm serious. In Fall River, there was a meetup and a couple hundred people there and cars racing. By the way, through a beautiful area, newly refurbished waterfront, that the people of Fall River deserve, quality of life, right? And because they were there was an ambulance that literally was blocked from getting through by those perpetrators, by the people who had gathered. And that ambulance had to go back up onto the highway and around, So I just wanted to be really clear with the public today that we will continue to work state and local law enforcement on this, and I've directed the colonel of our state police to provide resources and work directly with local chiefs and departments in combating this and holding perpetrators accountable. I wanted the public to know, if you see something, say something, call 911 if you get word of any meetup. And finally, to perpetrators, no, not going to happen. If you do it, we're going to find you and we will hold you accountable to the furthest extent of the law. I'm about quality of life and making sure that every day in this great state of ours, people are able to feel good about their quality of life, feel safe in their communities, and these kinds of, car meetups and the drag racing are counter to that. So that's what I wanted to share with you all today. Thank you.